All right. Well, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. It's got to be noon somewhere. Look at this
Kira's
kid.
nap time.
She covers too many rock bands. That's Kira Untapped and Kira Unslept, apparently.
And Randy Weckerly.
And I've had a full night's sleep. I just slept out on the porch for about 10 minutes in between these great interviews. Anyway, we're coming to you live. Hey, Nathan's watching again.
We can add him.
Hopefully that will be.
It's working, Nathan.
Hey, look at that. It's watching. Doesn't say, yeah, it is adding. Nathan is going to be appearing again live in a living color.
Woohoo!
Hopefully he'll be awake. Somebody will be awake on this.
I'm sorry. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Hey.
Hey.
Look at that.
Hi, Nathan.
Hey guys, sorry about the issues. I wondered if my AirPods were the Bluetooth was causing an interference or something, so I took those out. Hopefully you can hear me okay.
Oh, yeah, you're doing good. You're looking good. You're looking much better than we are. We are not had enough sleep. Miss Kira, she covers bands nationally. I don't think you were out last night though, were you?
No. I haven't gotten enough sleep.
Do you have any coffee in any of your beer? I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, we actually do love making coffee or making coffee related beers. We partner with the local roaster here, Foundation Coffee, and we have a chocolate coffee porter that's really one of our flagships.
Yeah, no, that's
I'll
gonna
be right down.
Yeah.
Come on over.
Sounds good. Well, anyway, really glad to have you on. We were looking at your website, and it looks like it's a lot of fun, and you've got a lot going on in there. So tell us the story. Tell us how you began, and what's the history. I know I think you do a podcast. I was looking at a little bit, and you know that's a lot of fun. We know, but tell us the story and how you got started.
Yeah, so basically we started, we're going to be celebrating our 3-year anniversary in October. I was running a software business. I had been in the Army and got out of the Army in 2010. I moved to Florida with sort of my last paid move by the Army, and ended up in a local area here in Tampa called Brandon. And I ended up building a house here where I live, which is called the South Shore area, which is near and part of Apollo Beach where our brewery is. And so as a craft beer sort of snob, I noticed that in the area there wasn't really, you could drive 20 minutes to get to Coppertail, or you could drive 30 minutes south to Bradenton, Sarasota, and catch, Motorworks, Big Top, those guys. But there wasn't anything within 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And, the idiot in me said, well, hey, we already built a software business. Let's do something completely different and do a brewery. And it sort of started out as like a small, we were going to do like homebrew supplies. And my wife was like, that's stupid. If you're going to brew, just brew. So we ended up doing it. We secured, put the funding together. And most of it is all bootstrapped, from our software business. But, 3 years later, here we are. I hardly remember any of it. But it's been fun.
That sounds like every day at work for me. I don't know what I did.
Well, it took us, it's like anything else. Ours has been an outgrowth. My company started a company called Live Eco Style. A lot of research into eco-minded lifestyle travel and all over the world. But we had a big background in golf and a big background with our Distillery channel. We're playing golf last year, and we said golfers golf, then they sip. Oh, wait a minute. That should be a magazine.
Nice.
Who knew? So doing the research, we said, put it together. So it's on fire. We became the platform nationally. It just grew, it's been a great trip. Entrepreneurism's fun, isn't it? It's good stuff.
Yeah, I call myself, like many others do, permanently unemployable. So it's aside from the Army where you couldn't quit without going to jail. For me, I realized very early on in my life that running my own business, being in control, was really the only way I would be happy. Not that it's paired with a lot of stress, as I'm sure you know, but that's what makes it fun.
Well, the stress goes long. As we say, we'd rather work 80 hours for ourselves than 40 hours for somebody else. And and I'm blessed to have the one that never stops working. She goes home and continues to work, but it's all fun and things make sense now. So did you begin brewing in your garage, or what was the first initial brewing? Did you bring in a brewmaster, or how did you go about making that decision?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just going to rearrange my camera here. I noticed I'm sort of whitewashed.
Sure. A little bit of light, yeah.
Yeah, so I had been home brewing for a while, and I just sort of, toying around in my spare time, and sort of inspired by a lot of what I had seen when I visited the West Coast with Stone Brewing and Ballast Point at the time, and Green Flash. And so basically I was just brewing anything that sounded good, like a lot of home brewers. And then once I got serious, I was basically brewing as a home brewer every single day for about 2 years. And eventually, it's funny, when we started Four Stacks, I thought, well, I'll brew and I'll manage the front of the house at the same time, and I'll manage the back of the house. I'll get it all done by myself. I'll just hire some bartenders. We'll be good to go. Again, I was sort of an idiot. I realized very quickly that it was hard enough just to brew, let alone do more than one thing. So I brought on my assistant brewer. His name is Mike Fry, and he now does all the brewing. And I tell him all the time he's a better brewer than I ever was. So he's, I still work on the recipes and sort of the operations side, but mixed in with managing the tap room and everything else. We have a solid core leadership team at the front of the house, and Mike sort of manages the back of the house, and I just sort of try and do everything I can.
Well, I was looking at your website, and you have the Four Stacks Running Club. What is that? That is, somebody have to go jog before they have a beer there, or how does that work?
I think you probably jog with your beer.
Now that would be fun, except I don't think the cops would let us do it. But I've been a runner. I used to run a lot more back when I had more spare time. But I was into triathlons and sort of like 5K, 10K, half marathon sort of thing. And so one of the, there's a club out in Tampa called Running for Brews, and they're big in St. Pete as well. And I thought, let's do something. Not a lot of people are doing that, especially in this area. So let's bring it to Apollo Beach and see if there's more people like me. And so I want to say about 18 months ago, we started a run club here. Basically, you can walk a mile loop or walk a 5K, but that'll take a while. Or you can run a 5K basically, and you accumulate a total like 60K, so 12 5K runs. You get a free tech T-shirt, and basically you get $1 off beers every night. So it gives people a chance to come together and work out a little bit, enjoy themselves afterwards. And I think the social component is really the big thing. On busy nights we'll have 50 runners on average. I want to say we have about 25 runners depending on the time of year. So it's been consistent for us, and we even have a volunteer. His name's Jose, who comes and coordinates everything for us, and really helps us out as well. So things like that, our trivia, music from time to time, those are things we sort of try to, introduce to the area with a different spin on it.
Yeah, well, that's good. I'm going to have to plug my phone in here. We had lost a lot of power, so if it shakes, we're not having an earthquake in Wisconsin. Nor are we having, we don't have the, as I said, people live in California, God bless them, but we do not have a fire season here. We don't have any earthquakes
here. We have tornadoes, but we haven't had any.
But we know they're coming generally. So, it's, anyway.
Nathan, I have a question. How did you come up with your brewery name?
Yeah, that's actually an interesting story, I suppose. We originally were going to be called Monument Brewing, and the idea was we're going to be a monument to beer. And then we happened to run into a little bit of a, I guess you could call it a dispute on the name. There's another brewery up north in Maryland that had a variation of that name. So we spent, at the time, again, when I had free time, we were out boating from time to time, and I was at my business partner at the time. We were out with my wife, and we were just trying to come up with every name. So you'd look at a palm tree and you'd think Palm Tree Brewing, Barstool Brewing. Like, you'd come up with every name you could possibly think of, and we're out on the water. I don't know how much you know about our area, but we have a power plant that's pretty significant. It's what you see when you come into Apollo Beach. So Apollo Beach sounds beautiful, but a lot of times people get here and they're like, oh, there's a big power plant that's blowing out steam all day. So we thought, as boaters, when you're out in the water and you're trying to come back from St. Pete or Tampa, you use that as sort of your waypoint. And we thought, hey, what about Four Stacks? And at first we were like, because there's 4 smokestacks at the time again, and we thought that's okay. Let's think about some other things. And eventually we just realized that it was the perfect way to bring the area into our brand and sort of become a fixture in Apollo Beach. And since then they've taken down one of the smokestacks, unfortunately, so we get lots of jokes about asking us if we're going to change our name to Three Stacks. And
I was thinking that. I didn't
Yeah.
want to say.
we just tell people that we're the fourth stack. We're the official fourth stack. And in fact, one of our regulars, Paul Wiola, who's a really good friend of ours, he was part of the demo project to bring that smokestack down, and he ended up giving us a piece of it. So we've got that. We're going to put it in sort of a case and display it at some point.
That is really cool.
Yeah, I was looking at your featured beers. So you do a Four Stacks beer show, and you got 23 episodes, it looks like. What are those all about? I haven't gone and reviewed those, but those look, they have to be fun for you.
Yeah, the beer show is actually, we did it because, again, our goal is here at Apollo Beach, we're in Four Stacks. We're trying to, there's a lot of people doing a lot of things in the beer industry. I'm sure you've talked to a lot of them.
Sure.
Like I said before, I used to be a beer snob. Now I've realized that beer has sort of become almost like wine had been in the past, where it's just really sort of uppity and again snobby. And so we wanted to, with the beer show, sort of make craft beer available for everybody in a way that was approachable. If you don't know what an IPA is, that's okay. If you don't know what IBUs or ABV or any of that stuff, pH, and you don't have to get into all that. And we just tried to make beer fun. So Mike and I would basically get some beers together. Some were donated, some were from our inventory, and we would basically get a little tipsy and just talk about beer and try to describe it the best that we could. The problem was editing has become a bit of a time sink. So we're a little behind. We have a few episodes to release that we haven't finished yet editing, but we hope to get back into it soon.
So are you doing that in Premiere Pro, or what are you editing in?
Gosh, again, my business partner was doing a lot of the work, and we no longer are working together. But I'm pretty sure it was we're Mac people, so
there's a lot of simple forms. Yeah, it does take time. We went down the path of that, and what you're seeing right now will give you some keys to hints. This is very useful, and I will tell you, I did a lot of research in this, and I'll give you a call when we're done, because I used to spend an inordinate amount of time working in post-production on YouTube. It takes a lot of time. More time there than doing the features.
I imagine that's one of the benefits of doing the Facebook Live is you can just sort of go and edit a little bit and let it run. Yeah,
I will give you a call when we're done, because this saved my life. We had all the, just get into the geek moment, we became the platform for the distillery, breweries, wineries of the country by happenstance. And the state organizations we called up, along with Sean down in Florida, who's been great to work with. And we said, if we help provide good social media, our magazine, Links Libations, and then a once a week podcast that would be fun, would that be good for your guys to, put up on social media, good social media content? And he said, yes. But then the 60 or so interviews I put on YouTube, and we did about 5 a day, and I would sit up all night post-producing them. Uncle Randy got real sick, so it was like,
true.
Yeah.
He doesn't remember part of it, so that's the good, maybe the good part.
Yeah,
you don't remember.
No, it was not. It was wonderful meeting everybody and our reach now. And the idea is, honestly, is what's great about this and with you, Nathan, is that golfers golf, they sip, and we're talking with Nathan at
Four Stacks
down in Florida, is that the snowbirds come to Florida. And we have snow up here. You're not in, it gets cold, and we want to come down to the warmth, play golf. Golfers golf, then they sip and work with you, and give you great awareness in our magazine. So that's simple marketing 101. Have fun, meet people, and golfers come down. They know where to go. Anyway, it sounds like the beer show. I can't wait to go and take a look at those. The names of your beers. Is fun. So let's do this. A lot of guys in Florida talk about IPA, so I'm not going to ask you to go into the whole alphabet. Just define for our viewers what IPA means, because it's a little different term.
Yeah, IPA stands for India Pale Ale. Basically originated, they used to use hops to basically keep the beer stable as they transported it. So the IPA you have a variety of different types of IPAs. You have English IPAs, which are a little maltier and maybe less bitter, less floral, or less aromatic. And then you have American IPAs, where like we just bomb it with hops and aroma. aroma hops. And so you have two different kinds. I'm not going to bore everybody with it, but I would say IPA is still a predominant style, though it's giving way. We're seeing trends with a lot of lighter styles taking off as well.
That's great. Do you have other events that are coming up soon on your calendar, or do you have events at your place or other events that you work in the marketplace?
Yeah, I would say we have the Lakeland Beer and Bacon Festival coming up here at the end of I believe it's the end of this month, maybe a couple weeks. Wow. We're going to be out at GABF, which I think the Great American Beer Festival, I think is late September, early October. We're going to be Cavalier Distributing, our distributor here in Florida, is hosting an event in Tampa late September, and then we're going to be down in Miami on October 1st for a trade show down there. In fact, we're going to try and meet with our friends at MIA Brewing and do a collab, which I don't know if anybody's talked about collabs, but that's sort of a fun thing for brewers to get together and brew beers together. And aside from that, I think, Wednesday we do Run Club, Thursday we do trivia, every other Friday or so we have live music. And, we just try to keep it fresh and have fun.
Oh, that's great. Well, we really appreciate it. And let us know how we can help. We'll be sending these out. We're going to be looking at your podcast and trying to put those out on our social media. So we'll give you a little bit of shout out. Last week we had somewhere between 20 to 100,000, who's counting, on our
Nice.
Facebook, outreach. And that's getting bigger every week. So what you do is Miss Carol will send you the link to this. You can put it on your Facebook page, and I'll give you a call in just a minute. And but anyway, Nathan, it's been great having you on. We can do these all the time. Kara and I just sit here. I keep her up all night. If she can work at night, we can
I'll need some coffee, coffee flavored beer.
You got it. Come on over.
All
We
right.
got it.
Hey, Lee, again, thank you very much. It's been great. 4 stacks, now 3 stacks. Yeah.
They're the fourth
Right.
step.
Oh, that's right. They're the 4 stack. I forgot that part.
Yeah, either way it works.
All right. No, it sounds good. Easy to find. We'll look forward to talking to you soon. And you guys have a great day. And we're coming down to Florida in January, so we'll see you then.
Yep, sounds good. We'll see you.
All right.
See
Thanks a
ya.
lot.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys. See you.
Bye-bye.